To grind, to shine. Let's get it. Shout out to Cowboys Experience. We're going to have another event this weekend. Can't wait to see y'all beautiful faces out there. Of course, we're going to have Drew Pearson, and it's already written that we may see some good times out there when you have Drew Pearson. Let's get it. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. I need to know where my ride or die is at, right? I need to know if you're a real Cowboy fan, stand up, or you willing to run after the first loss. I don't want to hear, oh, it's been 20 years long. Oh, it's been 27 years long. Oh, it's been 50 years long. No, I need to know where my ride or die is at, baby. Come on. Don't be letting people think that they won the Super Bowl after week 1. Huh? Y'all need to stop all that. Stand up, baby. Ain't no party like a Cowboy party. I need to know my real ones that. Come on. Let's get it. Stand up, baby. Bruh. Come on. All right. Appreciate everybody for being part of this episode. Hey, the name is Law Nation, of course. The Cowboys 0-1. Right? And this gives room for the people from the Eagles community, the people from the Commanders community, the people from the Giants community to come at me. And y'all think that I'm folding up like a wallet or a lawn chair, and they think that they going to the Super Bowl because they won week 1, and a third of the Cowboy Nation is running around crying about this, crying about that. I heard that people had the nerve to say, well, Law, you looked defeated yesterday. Where? When? I kept the same energy yesterday. I don't want to hear people thinking just because we are objectively speaking about this team that Law is folding up like a wallet or a lawn chair. No. And I for dog sure ain't looking at nobody's panic button. Y'all fail to realize Parsons is still out there. Right? Ezekiel Elliott, who averaged 5.2 yards per toe, is still out there. Yes, we got Cooper Rush. Yes, it don't seem as if, though, this team is going to do anything. And yes, it was a horrible start. And no, Law Nation is not getting paid by Jerry Wayne Jones. If so, Jerry, you owe me a whole bunch of coins because it's not enough to deal with the fickle Cowboy fans that we have out here. They cry after everything. I don't care if we 0-5, I'm going to still keep this same energy. Y'all can talk this and that about the quarterbacks and about this, but the reality of it, Cowboy Nation, it was week 1. It was week 1. Next man up. Yeah, shout out to you, Justin. Appreciate you for jumping in. Shout out to everybody for being part of this episode. All right, so with that being said, we do have some audio that I'm going to play. And we're going to try to get this show on and rocking. And then, of course, we'll open up the phone lines so you guys can spit your mind, talk what's on your heart or what have you. But once again, you do not win the Super Bowl week 1. I think that right now the Chargers played last night, had us everywhere running around like how you can watch the game. You know, if we were looking on our phone, turning on different channels, then we had to say, okay, you had to go to Prime, right? Amazon got the thing on lock. But I'm quite sure that the Charger fans are not abandoning Justin Herbert for throwing a pick 6, right? For getting hit upside his gut and squirming around on the field. I'm quite sure that they're saying, okay, they're going to rebound next week or what have you. That's how it goes. Leroy said Prime suck, especially in the rural area. Yeah, Amazon, Benzo's got it all on lock over there.
Is Jerry Jones? Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, Kevin, Corey, Mike, and as always, it's good to be on with you.
Now, I know we got plenty of stuff to talk about with the Cowboys, but real quick, I wanted to get your thoughts about last night's Amazon broadcast. What did you think of the broadcast, and what do you think about streaming as maybe being the future way that a lot of NFL broadcasts are going to get pushed over the years?
I'm going to tell y'all something before Jerry Jones speak of this. It was crazy. Not everybody is close to the Wi-Fi, good internet speed, so some people didn't get a chance to watch said game on Prime, especially if you grew up where I'm from. Ain't no internet. Internet, don't run that far. Cable don't run that far. We had to get satellites, right? And back in those days, satellites was big as most people's houses, But I think that it was good for the people that were in areas where you get high-speed internet. But it was horrible for people in rural areas, people that couldn't get access to Amazon Prime. It was just horrible. And people who don't have access to download the app on their phone. So if they had one of those flip phones, they're sitting there like, oh, man, what's the score? They had to go radio watch it,
Yeah, well, I first of all think streaming is a significant part of presenting the games. I'm excited about it. I think it will incorporate a segment of fans that young fans, if you will, that are important to our future and growth. And so I'm excited about streaming. I'm excited about the way we're approaching it. I'm chairman of our committee that owned and operated media. And I'm very excited about last night. That was a significant day for us to do and have this agreement with Amazon and present it.
Benzos.
It always does. It'll get better and better, and we'll refine it. And but from the standpoint of the quality of the picture, I thought it was great. I really am not for sure. I couldn't have a way to measure any delays of between the action and the audio. So all of that, those details are important. But overall, I thought it was great, and I thought it was a historic night to have that by design going to the country. Our policy has always been, wherever we can,
what's up, Warren?
Put the games out where the most people can see them. I call it, you might call it free TV, but it's not. It can come with ads, or it can come with a subscription, a basic cost. But still, the more that can watch our game, the better off we all are, and that gets us more fans, and that's what it's about.
All right, Mars, man, please do me a huge favor. Allow Eastside Harold to speak, man. It's been 2 years since we heard from Eastside, and appreciate Eastside Harold for being in here. I get it. He's going to be a troll. That's just what he do. Shout out to Eastside Harold, man. It's been 2 years, though. He normally comes when his team won. Oh, his team tied. So he's talking a lot now, and I like their coaching staff. I do like the Texans lineup and things like that. But allow the brother to speak his mind, because we know what type of person he is, right? He's a front runner, because he wasn't here last year. We were sitting there waiting for Eastside Harold. So every time he speak, it only gives validations and credence of who he is from a person perspective. He's not a guy that's going to go toe for toe, blow for blow. He is a guy that's only going to speak when his team is appearing to do well. So it only hangs himself. Let him speak. As long as he don't take any personal attacks or make any threats, let the man speak. That's just how it is. It speaks for itself. He's a Texans over here on the nation. But I feel and let Eastside Harold. I don't want to give him a wrench, but let the man speak, man. Lies, look, we can rewind the film. I do all of these videos, and I keep this up here. Let me know that you check in week 1, week 2. You might have checked in week 1. But for dogs, sure you didn't check in to week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. We got the call-in lines. You don't call in. So you and Philly Notion, y'all probably be the same person. I get it. I never seen you before. But maybe you and Philly Notion the same person, because I haven't seen you. I haven't seen y'all two until this year. That's crazy. That's flat out crazy.
You got to remember, only 7% of NFL fans have ever been inside a stadium. Only 7. 93% of them are fans watching it through various presentations.
Yeah, get it right into their home, so they don't get there. They can get that delivered right to their home.
Jerry, do you have a non-football show that you ever watch on Amazon? Like, do you watch The Boys or Marvelous?
To see, certainly NFL.
Offense is being said to be predictable this early in the season.
All right, let me rewind.
The NFL
Fast forward.
Become the I Love Lucy.
Fast forward a little bit to the good
that
stuff.
In demand on television.
It definitely is at this point. Now, Jerry, last year, Vic Fangio said they had the blueprint on stopping this Cowboys team with offense. And then this week, linebacker Devin White said that they knew exactly what the Cowboys offense was doing. How concerning is it that your offense is being said to be predictable this early in the season?
Let's see. We finished up after that Denver game, which was very disappointing last year, but we did have more offense. But after that Denver game, what was our record last year?
Pretty good.
12-5.
Okay. Well, if that can get a replay by knowing what it is we're doing by one of our opponents, and we can come up with the same record, I'll take it.
Well, Jerry, no. That's not how football works. And I know that they're not going to push back on that. But after the Denver's game, we did lose how many games, after the Denver's game, for those with the quick math. The thing is with this offense, and I'm talking to my Cowboy fans, not anybody else that's over here that want to have the trail of tears of joy that we lost our week 1 game. But what I'm trying to tell everybody, yes, we were the number 1 team in points, right, and yards, and offense. That was our number 1 deals last season. But to really dive deep into the numbers, to really go under the surface, right, because the surface level, to get deeper, we were ranked 24th and 25th around that area in red zone efficiency. That's when everything gets a little bit tighter, a little bit difficult to score. And what we are seeing is a pattern, Cowboy Nation. And I'm not trying to sully nor denigrate Kellen Moore. I think that the kid got great promises in the future. But write this down. You can't teach something that you don't know. Let me say it again. You can't teach something that you don't know. And what if I told you guys, last game, you just don't do those things on the opening series and drive. You don't do trickery plays. Normally when you start pulling out the tricks, which are really for kids, you are already defeated. That's a clear sign of, hey, I'm desperate. So the problem is Coach Mike McCarthy is trying to put the toothpaste back into the tube, right? When he called out and said that, hey, this is the type of situation that I got to say. In the title, look it up. It literally says that Mike McCarthy say that Kellen Moore got to be smarter. This is his 4th year now. This is his 4th year. And the thing is, when we start talking about coaching trees, I don't think that Kellen Moore is a branch of Mike McCarthy. Kellen Moore is a derivative. He learned all of his knowledge and wisdom and understanding from Boise, from his father, right? That trickled down to Jason Garrett, Scott Linehan. So when I say that there are shades of the same offense since 2007, keep this in mind. Everybody was released. Everybody was gone. Right? Everybody was gone in 2019 at the end of that season. But one person remained the same, and that was Kellen Moore. McNeil says water wet. So that's why we see the same things. The exact same things. Now, can Kellen Moore have a more efficient offense this weekend? Yes. But he would have to go back to the rudiments of what can make you win games. Running the ball. We got our record. We 30-0 when we rush the ball for 27 or more attempts. Oh, we have a better outcome as relates to efficiency when you have things that set up. When you run the ball and you have quarters defense or you have 8 dropping back in coverage. When you run on that, your whole mindset to this will be, okay, not to throw into the teeth of that, but your mindset should be, I'm going to run in that so I can get them out of that defense. Matter of fact, to be honest with you guys, yes, they are wasting Zeke Fisher. They are wasting Zeke right now. But the mindset of that is you should be joyous to see light bodies. You should be happy to see 6 or 7 DBs out there on the field because that would be the optimum time to run on that. Because you should be able to force a timeout because you should say, okay, I got my big boys. This is a package that I'm comfortable with. And even though their guys, their DBs is coming down and feeling, they may stop you on first and whatever. But I promise you that when you start pulling that 330-pound tackle or guard on those lighter DBs, they're going to be patting their helmet or they're going to be laying down acting like they're hurt. That is football 101. But what the Cowboys trying to do with Kellen Moore is that we're going to throw out a coverage. You can't do that. You can literally look at Pat Mahomes. You seen him last night, right? A good thrower of the ball. But when the Kansas City Chiefs played against the Cincinnati Bengals, that first quarter, they were stubborn to a degree of giving Pat Mahomes one-on-one, keeping the single high safety, double and trying to bracket cover Tyreek Hill, and it was working for them. But in the second half, they said, you know what? If Pat Mahomes is good as who he say he is, we're going to drop 7 and 8 in coverage. Let me know who won that game against the Cincinnati versus the Chiefs last year in the playoffs.
Do you ever think how much better, though, that perhaps, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but how much better perhaps that record even could be or the playoff success could be if maybe teams were not as familiar with what might play out?
When I first got on the competition committee 20-something years ago, Don Shula was the chairman, and Marty Schottenheimer and Flores, and I was the only non-coach on the committee. Mm-hmm. And we had just won the Super Bowl. And Don Shula and Schottenheimer told me, he said, do you know that every club in the league had your signals? And we knew whether you were going to run it or pass it, and we almost knew which way you were going to go. And we haven't stopped you yet. And you won the Super Bowl.
Jerry, I want to tell you to lean forward just a little bit, but I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm not going to do my guy Jerry like that. I don't want to get counseled over here for telling an 80-year-old man to lean forward, but
shame. Shame. Shame.
It's a difference between everyone knowing that you got the sky hook, right? It's a difference of knowing that Shaq, when he get the ball down post, low, that he's going to turn around and just yam it on you, right? It's a difference in strategy of knowing what somebody's move will be, right? Versus when to do it. It goes back to these type of things. If everybody, mama, uncle, cousin knew that Troy Aikman was going to hand the ball to Emmett, toss left and toss right. The thing is, what they didn't do on the defensive side of the coin is when he was going to toss left, toss right, was load the box. Because dare I say, they had the offensive coordinator at that time to literally say, all right, cool. They got the box loaded. Yeah, but in this down and out distance, it will be time for us to hit the playmaker one-on-one to the outside. Enough for them to get out of that look. And they get out of that look because now they got to worry about stopping that connection with the pass. Although they knew that in this I formation or in this pro set that they finna do a sweep or they finna do a toss. So the stubborn part about it is not that, hey, everybody know what the Cowboys are doing. It is how you attack from an offensive perspective. We didn't need all of the gadget plays. We didn't need to do an end around reverse sweep because that's idiotic. People that understand football know that even if you got a favorable look, the understanding and the wisdom of football is that you run it when they drop an 8. Even if you said to yourself, I want to pass it. But the ideology is that you're supposed to run it on dropping of 7 and 8 in coverage. As much as people would love for Troy Aikman to drop back to throw all of those passes, we rarely had games. And I know people got a lot of Mandela effect where they think that Troy threw for 4,000 yards or 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns in one season. No, he didn't do all of that. It was a complementary football type of game. It was a strategy type of game that they did more with 5 plays than what Kellen Moore can try to do with these 10 to 15 plays. It's football.
And everybody knew what you were going to do.
So, Jerry, when it comes to this week, Cooper Rush is making the start. My background as a former major league pitcher, a lot of times hitters will say, hey, sometimes the toughest guys to hit are the minor leaguers that come up that there's very little information on. Do you feel like you have a better chance to win with Cooper Rush, that there's really only one game that the Bengals can look at in his career, and that's the Minnesota Vikings game?
Our team will address this literally from within. From within. I was talking to a great coach last night, and not on our staff, and he'd had similar situations. And it's not a coach, it's coached here. And he said, you look for the answer maybe outside, maybe another quarterback. And he said the answer's from within, and he told of a season that he had that he lost his quarterback and then turned around and won 4 of the next 5. He said everybody's got to be a little better.
Yeah.
Block, you got to hold your block longer. You got to do a little better. Everybody steps up and be's a little better, and you realize that at the end of the day, this was a team game, and that everybody, all 40 of them, had to go out there and step their game up. And so he said, actually, sometimes you look for a challenge like this. Now you say, well, that's an optimist, or that's not real enough. Well, there's a whole bunch of this game that's internal. There's a whole bunch of this game that's attitude. There's a whole bunch of this game that's will. And so you have got to realize that any one player can go down, or any 2 players can go down. And so my point is, I'm not going to get as hung up on the new pitcher. I'm not going to get as hung up on that, although it's real and it's something that you should dwell on. It's the overall reaction to our situation that is going to win the day.
That's a 50-50 mindset, right? People will rally behind, others when you're going through things, right? You rally together and say, okay, well, we down without this guy, so let's rally together. It sounds good. It sounds good. But in order for it to do that, you got to have a strategy. You know, what was that game? Mike Tyson punch out, right? Right? The whole flow of the game is the underdog, right? You got to play with strategy. You look, newsflash. You won't be able to win with them if you don't know how to play the game, right? Mike Tyson, was it Mike Tyson punch out, right? You got to have the strategy. There's some people that play that game punch out, right? That still can pick up the sticks and win because they understand the philosophy and the strategy. You just can't just press buttons and win. Like just get the remote control and just press any button and win. No, you got to be like Punch Out. You got to have a strategy. Now, the thing is in guerrilla warfare, right, that your army, your troops may be smaller, but you know the terrain. You know where the hidden spots are at against the opposition that is bigger. They vast, they move slower. But from a mindset, you got to make sure that everybody is on the same page. Your margin or your room for errors are very low. And the strategy was the same even when you think about Rain Dakota Prescott in 2016. Let's scrap the playbook for what we had in store for Tony Romo, and let's make it comfortable for the fourth-round quarterback, Dak Prescott. Let's put in some plays that he liked to do in college, and let's lean on this offensive line, and let's put the ball in the belly of one of the better running backs that's coming out of college by the name of Ezekiel Elliott. Strategy. When your back is up against the wall, how do you change the outcome? By you looking deeper into the strategy and slowly building said character, right, for the test of time. Those things wouldn't have happened if you look at Dak Prescott and say, we're going to roll out the same game plan, right? And it hits everybody close to the heart when we talk about truths. And that was the situation, a developing quarterback. And then the second year, bam, the quarterback is now put into a spot, whereas now everybody's looking for him to repeat it. But he couldn't do it without Ezekiel Elliott, the leading running back, had to miss 6 games, the staggering of on the field, off the field. But if you look back at all of the Cowboys' success, dating back to the 90s, it wasn't because of the quarterback only. It was because of the strategy. It was because they ran the ball. For those who are out there, you can't out-debate me on this because I'll bury you guys, even with Tony Romo. His best collective season wasn't because of only the arm of Tony Romo. It wasn't. He only threw for 300 yards one time in that entire season in 2014. It happened because of the legs of DeMarco Murray, who had over 1,800 yards. Tony Romo will still be playing to this day if they understood how they got to what they got to in 2014. How long do you have any information on that? Yes, these are the truths. Run the ball. You went and got offensive linemen to help protect said quarterback. You had a bruiser, a running back who can run the ball. Yes, Dez was able to eat with 16 touchdowns, right? Why? Because they ran the ball, forced to load the box, one-on-one to the outside. They tried to bracket it, and it didn't work. Newsflash for everyone who want to out-debate me on this, which you can't. Who was the offensive player of the year that year? Was it Dez? Was it Tony Romo? It was the running back. DeMarco Murray, Offensive Player of the Year. And then the next year, the Cowboys went into the money battles and said it's not worth paying the guy. Let him hit the straights. And that instantly broke the chemistry of what you built to the formula. Instantly. Week 2 in 2015, there was no more DeMarco Murray to help protect and sit in the gap to block for Tony Romo. And then, y'all know what happened? Joseph Randall wasn't going to step inside to block nobody. He was talking about meat on the bone. I'm quite sure if you had DeMarco Murray in that game, he would have stepped inside and blocked the linebacker. But the winning formula was running the ball, getting somebody to protect the quarterback. 2016, the Cowboys were chasing. 2014, they was looking for that person that can step inside to give you DeMarco Murray type of production. And they got him out of Ezekiel Elliott, right? Run the ball. Every time we ran the ball, we had a successful season.
McCarthy was talking during camp and multiple different times about the penalties and cleaning up the penalties and making sure that we were all squared away there. And there were 10 offensive penalties in the first week. When do you expect to see that improvement in that area?
Well, I would have thought we would have improved from where we were. I know the point of emphasis through training camp. I know the point of emphasis through that's done as late as last week. And so that certainly if you look at the fact that we were, I think, 11 times we were within, on third down, we were in very makeable situations, but we were within the range where you're supposed to make it on third down, and we didn't most of those times. That answers your question.
Let me stop him. Law, are you ready to share more and more evidence of as above, so below? I talked to you guys before when I was out there in Oxnard for 11 days. I gave you guys tangible information of showing coaches working with players, hands-on with players. And I showed you guys lackadaisy stuff on the offensive side. But for dogged on the defensive side, you saw coaches with their hands. Get out the way, Jerry. I'm going to get you out the way. Get out the way, man. Get out the way. Coaches with their hands on players. The guy that looked like T-Pain working out with the guys. The Coach Dirty working with the guys. Dirty, Dan Quinn, old boy get off of his release a little bad. He take the doggone pad and he hit the players. Get back in line. Get back in line. Real true coaching. But what if I were to tell you guys, like Ripley's, believe it or not, that in this previous game, there were 10 penalties. 8 out of the 10 came from the offensive side. And we had Kenny Shark on the show the other day when I was on with the UK boys. Shout out to Cowboys Experience. And he said that this dude, Jimmy Johnson, put the fear of God into all of his players. That they knew for sure that if they mess up, they could get cut, belittled, ridiculed, Johnny on the spot. They could have other things to happen and occur. And I'm not saying that Mike McCarthy or Dan Quinn can be a Jimmy Johnson. But if you don't have those levels of accountability where these guys' feet will be put into the fire or they ASS will be put into the fire, then you will have the same results. You can have all of that tough boy talking about, hey, we going to do this and that, but everyone have a reason. Results are what matter. So with that being said, this should be the situation and scenario that we should see tangible evidence. If your butt make those type of mistakes, then openly there should be some type of consequences and repercussions. That is how disciplinary works. That's how it works. Yes, Ross says accountability, but I don't want to get into too much details of what Kenny said. Just go back and rewatch the show.
About a lot of things. And did you do it because of a penalty that stopped you, or
drive killers?
It wasn't a penalty that didn't get you in a position to make a first down because you were there 11 times and didn't do it. And so you got to improve in everything, of course, right. But we've got to do a better job on third down. Now, I don't know whether I'm answering, but I'm not. Penalty, you say, the ones that kept you from getting to first down again, certainly pre-snap, really need to be focused on, but that's stepping it up. Everybody's stepping it up.
If you mentioned a couple of weeks ago that one of the things you like about Jason Peters is he can play on the left side or the right side. If those penalties did not get cleaned up, specifically for somebody like Terrence Steele, who had a rough first week one, could you envision Jason Peters taking over at right tackle?
The answer to that is HELL and then capital NO. Jason Peters, he's 40. I get it. He got wisdom and understanding of the game. But one thing that I want you guys to do when you do your research on him, he is a flag magnet. He's good. His technique is there. He's not going to allow your quarterback to get creamed, but he is a flag magnet. And for the majority of his career, he played left side. And I would refuse to see him at right tackle. I refuse. And I get it, Terrence Steele, if you look at only the flags that he generated, you can say, yeah, he had a horrible game. But on the field, he did pretty well. But he got to clear up those flags. I'm not finna bench my right tackle because of those things. And I know what I just said. I ain't trying to put lipstick on a pig. But you're not finna put a 40-year-old guy at right tackle who didn't have a chance and opportunity to play the right side, I guess, more than 10 years ago, right? 12, 13, last time he played on the right tackle was like 13, 14 years ago. No, don't do that. No. Now, left side, maybe. You can say, okay, maybe you can put him at left tackle and then you slide Tyler Smith back at left guard. Maybe that will be a situation and scenario. But I refuse to make this thing a musical chair after one game. The point of having an offensive line, yes, you put your best five out there, but there got to be some type of continuity, some type of rapport, so that your quarterback can get adjusted to the temperaments of said players. The front five is the only unit that all of these guys have to be on the same page. Not should, but have to.
First, we've got to get Jason to where he's physically ready to play.
And that's a good point, too, Jerry. By time, good point. Good point. God dog.
Any of the positions. And he's not there yet, but he's getting there fast.
Right.
Then there's no doubt he has the ability to swing. And so that'll give us some options. We've got a lot of help on the way if you looked at it that way. We have the ability with personnel to have much better weeks ahead. And that's going to be a plus. I keep emphasizing, though, that alone is not going to get it done. It's got to have, each one has got to do a better, each player, each coach has got to do a better job.
I know you say that. I'm really asking, as a Cowboys fan myself, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that all of those possibilities might come through?
I think 1 of 3, 2 of 3. Okay, but my point to you is, are you kidding me? Do I believe this? Are you really asking that question?
Y'all can't hear
audio? Of course I believe it.
Can y'all hear audio now?
Of course I do. That's what I do.
Can y'all hear audio? Y'all said y'all can't hear audio. Is the audio straight? Is the audio straight? Right? Let me know. Let me know. And for those who are out there, and I see what you're saying. T said you can't tell me it's sunny when it's raining, but I can tell you that you need the rain, right? And I can tell you that it will not rain forever. And I can tell you the sun will not shine forever. Old folks said it right. Either you going into a storm or you coming out of a storm. But it's about weathering or being able to withstand the storm. Life is like this. And what most people want, they want life to be just like this. And that's not happening. It's not. That is the reality of life. You learn more in your struggles. And I don't want to hear somebody saying, well, we've been struggling for 27 years. That's not the facts. It's not. From your perspective, or from your standpoint, it may feels like, hey, we've been the bottom of the league in 27 years, but that's not the truth. It's not. When I pull up the droughts, teams that have been looking to get back to the Super Bowl, there are literally teams that have been in this league for over 75 years who never touched or graced a chance to get a ring or even got far, but never lifted that Lombardi trophy. So you think that those teams and the people that root for those teams, there should not be Cardinals fans. There should not be Lion fans. According to your philosophy and the way you're thinking, if the audio is cutting out, then let it cut. But let those who have ears hear. Charger fan. There should not be a Chargers fan for 62 years. Don't you know? If I had a talk radio show on national TV, I could be right for 62 years about the Chargers, about the Buffalo Bills, about the Browns for 58 years, about the Falcons. According to you, there should be no Cardinal fans, no Lion fans, no Charger fans, no Browns fans, no Vikings fans, no Jets fans. There should be no fans of those. I don't see the Cowboys' name on this list. And according to the person, Ron, you said the new Browns. I don't think it's been 58 years. We're not even on that list. I'm only here for the real fans, the tried and true, the ride or die. If you just a ride fan, then that's who you are. I'm the ride fan. I'm not the ride or die law. I'm just a ride fan. And you can't tell me where my allegiance is, man. I've been rolling for this team for 27 years. Then you just ride on and be a fan of another team. The craziest thing about this right here, Cowboy Nation, I think the last time before 2017, the Eagles, the last time they won anything was in 1933 or something like that, or 1957 or 8. I don't know the Eagles' history. But there's not a person that's an Eagle fan would allow a Cowboy, a Giant, a Washington, or any other fan base to change their mind about the love that they have for their team. And matter of fact, it built them to be tough. It built them to be the Philadelphia Filthy Eagles, that even with one ring, they will have the nerve to talk to people with 5, 6, 4, 3, or 2 rings. even before they got their one ring. That fan base. But the Cowboy fan base then had all of the glories in the 70s, took off in the 80s, then had all of the glories in the 90s, and we still off from the 90s. Just for us to be on a 27-year skid, for a third of the Cowboy fan base to be like, crying like a bunch of babies about something. Look, it gets to the degree that people think that I'm the reason the Cowboys are losing. Like I'm the one that's going out there making plays. That's crazy. That let me know how they won in 1940. Shout out to TJ Lombardi. And their fan base, they didn't waver, shaking around. Come on, baby.
I've done a lot of things. Now, I've had them stuck up my you-know-what a lot, but I believed a lot of things that worked. Of course I believe it.
Jerry, when it comes to the Bengals, they were the worst team in football 2 years ago. They draft Joe Burrow. They don't get much better after he gets hurt. They draft Jamar Chase, and they're in the Super Bowl. Do you see that as just kind of, man, that's one of the most lucky things I've ever seen? Or, God, they just did everything right in a 2-year period?
Bull sugar, man, bull sugar. Because what they did do, you got to tell the full story, is that their ownership, the person that was like the Jerry Jones there, did this number. I'm going to step back, and I'm going to allow my daughter to run the operations. I'm going to sit back and be less hands-on. And then that's where they went and got some acquisitions. But if you tell the story like he just laid it up, you would think that that never existed.
Oh, I think they believed that if, and they kept striving. I can remember Mike Brown talking about when everybody was talking about needing this, needing that, and he said, guys, it's about the quarterback.
B. Bird says, do the same chart for being in the conference championship game, and you will see how bad we look. It's not only that we haven't been to the Super Bowl. I get that. I get that. But I promise you, my brother is a die-hard 49ers fan, and you don't want to be where his team is at. Think about it. If it's 27 years for us, it's 28 years for them. And trust me, it's no good feeling of going to the Super Bowl and losing. I saw my brother stretched out like Family Guy on the floor because their team lost in the Super Bowl. Trust me, you wouldn't want to brag about that. Trust me. I'm saving you guys. You do not want to get all the way to the Super Bowl to ultimately lose it. There are people to this day who witnessed the Ice Bowl when we lost to the Green Bay or whoever we lost to the Colts, whatever we lost to. It was before I was even on this dimension. I was somewhere else. It's still stick still. How many Super Bowls the Cowboys been to? 8, right? The 3 we lost, trust me, they still feel that burn. They still feel that burn to this day if they still alive. You do not want, and I get it, right? But we are no worse or good shape or bad shape than the 49ers at this point. I don't want to get all the way there to ultimately lose. And I feel you, B-Bird. I feel you. That's a good point. Yes, it's worse than what we can say. It's worse. It's worse. It feels bad.
Said, get me a quarterback and I'll win. If I don't have one, I won't win. Well, it's not that simple either, Mike. But, boy, it did show one thing. You get you a first-round pick, and he'd be the right first-round. Mike's had other first-round picks over there. But it'd be the right first-round pick, and you can sure find that show up in the Super Bowl. He did it last year. So my point is that guys, that's what makes this so special. That's why so many people are interested, because there's no one set way. There's no combination of incidences that are something you can hang your hat on. On the other hand, you've got to sit there and work each one of them and do the best you can with what you got. And I know this is a little subjective, but men, this is a subjectively influenced exercise we're going through here. There are no pat answers.
Yeah. Michael Irvin yesterday, he came on with Sean and RJ and was talking about CeeDee Lamb, and for the next 18 weeks, he has to work with Cooper Rush to prove that he's a number one receiver, and that's going to be very tough. What do you expect from CeeDee Lamb over the next 4+ weeks?
And here's what I have to say about CeeDee Lamb. Stop trying to – look, you don't have to prove everything, right? Let your work speak for itself. Michael Irvin didn't have the type of career that CeeDee Lamb had in his second year. Michael Irvin didn't have the type of career that CeeDee Lamb had in his first year. This is the thing, and this is the problem. People always got things that they say they got to go out to prove. Do this. Just be the good football player that you can be. Get better at your craft. Stop looking at what Justin Jefferson did or Jamar Chase is doing. Comparison is the robber and the thief of all joys. Right? Be yourself. When I do these streams, I'm not trying to battle anybody. I'm not looking back and seeing, okay, this is what such and such did on his podcast, or what this guy did on their podcast. Nobody's given the same set of circumstances. I just be me. And I think that that's why y'all gravitate to me. Don't try to be like someone else. You don't know what all goes into the details. I had somebody to hit me up about 4 or 5 months ago. Hey, man, blah, blah, blah is able to do that. I said, he don't have a wife and kids. It's just him. When he eat, his whole family eat. I'm in a whole different universe, different dimension. I can only be me. Oh, man, such and such allowed this on his channel. That's them. Kudos to them. I'm 11 years older than him. We two different people. Two different sets of responsibilities, man. Y'all get what I'm saying? My job is classified. Right? You just can't walk into the buildings that I walk into without a certain code. I got clearances, man, that goes beyond the average human being. And I can't tell you what agency I work for. Right? So there are things, baby, that things go beyond and above everybody. There are things that you can't put everybody into the same arena, the same box. That box is not meant for such and such. So what we need from CeeDee Lamb is to be better than what he was last year. Work on his craft. If it's weight that he got to get in, if it's 5 to 6 pounds that he have to do to gain, to be a certain receiver, do that. And yes, it's okay to take this from that person and elevate it, and take that from that person to elevate it. But it won't mean him a hill of beans if he try to do everything DeAndre Hopkins did. It won't mean him a hill of beans if he tried to do everything the playmaker did. Do y'all get what I'm saying? That's life. So many people think that, hey, at your age, it reminds me of a commercial back in the days. These two couples were getting into a car. And they said, I got to tell you something. I got to tell you something. And the fella, I'm paraphrasing. He said, well, I'm going to let you go first. And then she said, well, I want to break up with you. What you have to tell me. And he was saying, I just hit the lottery. I'm a multimillionaire now. You see? Now, it was meant for him to be by himself, but the commercial was just trying to lay out that sometimes the things that's going on in your mind, the things that are going on in your thoughts of you trying to say something, damn, I wish I never said it. Now, it's twofold. It's good because if he'd have went first and said, hey, I'm a multimillionaire because I hit the lottery, she would be with him only because of the money. But now he can be by himself looking for someone else because of the truth is already out of the bag. And you can't put toothpaste back in the tube neatly. I digress.
Well, I think that you're going to, first of all, I think Rush is up to the task of winning ball games for us. And I think he's certainly had a lot of experience in this offense. He and Kellen Moore have been joined at the hip for a long time. So I like who we're lining up out there to begin with, to start right there. The people covering your best receiver, that happens. What do? You got to play through being covered. You got to catch balls covered. And you say, well, that's a trite thing to say. But you can't, just because they doubled you up, not make some plays. And so we just got to get some plays. We had some third down opportunities at combination of the ball, combination of the catch, combination of a lot of things. Maybe it was the protection on that play. But my point is, every team in the league is faced with the same thing. They're going to have their best receiver double covered. What he's got to do, or what the best receiver should do, is play through that coverage. And if he will play through that coverage, if he will play, then he'll keep both those guys on him, and they will leave somebody open. And Dak's one of the best there is at finding the open guy and going to the right guy. Rush can do it too. So my point is, there's another part to being that top receiver, and that is that it should compromise another a place on the field to throw the ball. Now,
man, come on, baby. We all love Jerry. But if you got a sea of red jerseys on you, I don't care if you Jerry Rice mixed in with Megatron. You ain't going to catch every pass. And then just to add the insult to injury, if the quarterback is not getting there on time with the ball, it's a twofold situation. Quarterback got to get there. The protection got to be there. That's why football is a collective, a total true team sport. You got to have everybody. Somebody. You can't win the Super Bowl with just Megatron. You can't. It's already been proven. Randy Moss by himself. He can't win the Super Bowl with just Randy. Randy Moss, even if he was on this team, and if you running some horrible strategies as it relates to that, he would have still lost the game. The team would have still lost the game, not him himself. But you guys get what I'm saying, right?
You got to have time to get it out there.
Jerry, will third round pick Jalen Tolbert dress and play on Sunday?
Again, we'll see how the week goes, and we'll just see how the week goes. Again, Houston's had to name another receiver specifically. We're iffy on a couple of situations there as far as whether they'll be ready or not, but we'll see how it goes.
And
no doubt. Appreciate you, DAM Entertainment. He says we still going to be great. Don't panic. Appreciate you for the $50 holler, man. I appreciate you so much for that, man. All right. Here we go from here. Appreciate you so much, man. Appreciate you, fam. Oh, my gosh, man. Appreciate you so much for that, man. That helped keep the lights on over here. Appreciate you. What we're going to do is, since you're giving, let me redo this thing again, unless Keith Floyd, unless you're listening now, and the other people that they had their name in their hat, they didn't reach out to me, and I got to get this ticket out of my hand. I do. And it's tickets to the game versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And you got to be local. We got the ticket. It's not in the nosebleed section. We're going to run this thing one more time, and I promise you guys, I want somebody to win this. Let's run it up, man. Come on.
Yeah. Lately I just wanna run it up. Count a check or something. I've been really in the field, let up, yeah. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it up. Yeah.
All right, Byron, you are the winner to the Cincinnati game. We got some tickets for you. Reach out to me. Go to lawnationsports.com. Stroll all the way down in the comment, and you can type in your name, your information, your location, and I will meet up. Well, I don't have to meet up with you. I'll give you the access keys to log in to get your ticket on StubHub, and you can get right in there. This is brought to you by OT. He's solid because we got this ticket giveaway, we got the Lions ticket giveaway, and we got the Eagles game ticket giveaway. All home games. So I really want you to reach out to me, Byron Reed, because you are the winner for your support and love and adulations to the channel. It's a ticket. You're not gonna be way in the nosebleed somewhere. You're gonna be close in there. You can be able to see some good stuff. Good stuff. Road 200. All right. What I'm gonna do is, just in case he don't reach out to me, we're gonna roll that thing one more time, man. We're gonna roll it one more time. Give me 1 second here. We're gonna roll that thing one more time. But Byron, you are the winner. I can't wait to see you, man. You got at least 24 hours to reply. And we're gonna roll it. Let's do this. We're gonna roll 3 of them in honor of the 90s Cowboys, three-time champs in the 90s. So we're gonna roll that thing again. And I want Byron, unless you in the chat. Byron can't go. Come on.
Yeah. Lately I just wanna run it up.
Come on, help us win this game.
I've been really in the field, let up, yeah. I've been really in the field.
Is it Dejan? Got it. You won. I think that you was on my Facebook. Whoever gave stars when this competition was going. You won. Let me do one more thing. Let's run it up again. So you got 24 hours, man. 24 hours. So if my first guy don't reach out to me, it'll be your turn. Let's go.
Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change to the safe, got blues inside.
Ticket giveaway to the game versus Cincinnati.
Roll my change, take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Rabbit now. I'm with Day, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same.
Cowboy culture. Appreciate you, man. You've been unbelievable. You've been supporting the channel. You won. So if those other 2 guys don't reach out, I got a ticket for you. Let me know, man. We got until Saturday to give you this ticket. We got until Saturday, man. So come on. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Really appreciate those who participated, man. I thank those who gave to this channel. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to open up the phone line.
Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for line. Keep it
Cowboy
super
culture.
thug my way.
You won,
on
baby.
this side. Keep it super thug my way. On this side. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for line. Keep it super thug my way. On this side.
MJ, what's good, man? Talk to me. What's good, man? You live, man.
You made some good points.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
You got that out of the park.
Yeah. I try, man. I try, man. I try.
know.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, we're going to be talking about it until we can't talk no more. If we run the ball, we going to win.
If we don't stop the run, and if we don't run the ball, we lose. That's just how it goes, man.
That's how it goes, bro. Because you got to stop trying to be tricky. I saw Collier, he was showing film section.
Okoye, media, yeah.
Yeah, Collier was showing the film section. And, man, I told my friends, man, we was running all over Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay was very happy that we stopped running. Now, they're going to play New Orleans this week, and New Orleans got their numbers. What could New Orleans do to Tampa Bay, y'all?
Yeah. Hey, and then if you look back at what New Orleans got on the offensive side of the coin, Michael Thomas resurrected himself, and then they got Jarvis Landry, who looked good. And on top of that, you have Chris Olave. So those boys, I think that they gonna look back and say, okay, give us those cushions. We're gonna run the ball to open up the pass, and then they're gonna get some things going. They got good defense too. So.
They do, and they always stop Brady. This is Brady's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
This is Brady. They be killing Brady.
Yeah.
So that's just he gonna be panicking himself this week.
And the only reason why is that they get pressure from multiple angles, right? We only had one person. Like D-Law gave us a little shine, a little bit, but majority of everything came from Michael Parsons, and that's just how that goes, man. We need to continue to deliver pressure from multiple angles, and if you give Joe Burrows time to throw, and I'm talking about Cincinnati now, he gonna kill him. So the Cowboys better be prepared, and the defense, I think that they should look at this thing of, hey, we got to stop the run, because Joe Mixon, keep in mind, they still had over 30 attempts of running the ball.
Sure did.
30 collectively.
Sure did.
We had 18 attempts collectively.
God, what's up with Kellen Moore, man? He just want to be a passing dude. Why he trying to make us a passing offense? Even when the fastest turf on the fastest showing turf, they had Marshall Faulk, and they was 50-50. Go on you and run on. Why we can't keep doing that, bro?
The thing is, and I gotta let you go because I gotta run through these calls. I got a show that I gotta get to, and it's called the Woman King. I supposed to watch that in a few, and I gotta drive all the way out that way. So I just want to get your score prediction real quick, and I'm gonna get Coach Marv on next, and Poindexter, you next too. What's your score prediction?
I got 2 scores.
What's that?
My score: if we run the ball and play like we did against Minnesota, we'll win 20-13. If we don't run the ball and do that stupid stuff, we're gonna get beat 34-6 or not.
34-6 type of game. They're gonna burn a type of game. All right. So 20-13. I got you down locked in for this week. So if you hit those numbers, man, I got you something, man. Appreciate you, fam.
All right, family.
You still? Oh, you ain't gonna say it? That's how you feel?
Oh yeah. How about them Cowboys? Let's go.
Let's get it, man. All right, appreciate you, dog. That's my guy, man. I got Coach Marv, man. Coach Marv, we ready for your wisdom and understanding of this, man. Talk to me.
Yeah, I know you gotta run a law. Just wanted to say just a couple things right quick. Zeke, I love what Zeke said yesterday. It was about time. I've been pushing for him to say something for a long time. But remember what Zeke said. I want people to understand. He said they actually, they always try to get him off the run, talking about, well, when they start loading the box.
Right.
Loading the box don't stop you from running the football.
Right.
You just got to be able to run the football, regardless if they got the box loaded or not. You still you can't just go and run away from them because they going to fake like they load the box.
Hey, Coach, before you get into that, a loaded box, people fail to realize, if your blockers hit, you only got one guy to beat in this touchdown.
That's it. That's why I was telling you, Law, in one-on-one, I trust Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, just like in your film breakdown. And the flats, if you drop the ball off to the flats out there, Ezekiel and Tony Pollard, they one-on-one out there with a tackle.
Yeah.
I think they win that every time.
Right.
But anyway, but I want to say this, and this is very important. I want you to really think about this. Fans, I want y'all to be fans. But you can't be a head coach in this league, and you can't be an owner and do it as a fan.
Yeah.
Because when you do it, you just like that interview that you got with Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
That's an interview of a fan, not an owner.
Woo! Yeah! Y'all listen to that, man. That was a fan
Coaches,
call.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, coaches know that you ain't gonna catch every pass because there's a whole lot of things that goes into receiving catching the ball. But when you start giving interviews like a fan and owning like a fan, you are all over the place. You up, down, moving sideways. 1 minute you're good, 1 minute you're bad, 1 minute you like a player, 1 minute you hate a player. You're doing it like a fan.
Right.
So to be a good fan, you have to be a good fan. But to be a great administrator, you can't do it in the thinking of a fan. This is the problem in Dallas because you can feel the feelings of the fan, but you can't run your organization like a fan. And that's what they're doing. That's why they're all over the place. That's why they're so hyped when one guy does something. They pump him up like he's the best thing in the world. When they make a mistake, they try to denigrate him like that. Because that's what fans do. And it's wrong, but that's how fans do because they're not in the inner working. They're not into the everyday working with these players and working with this team and know everything. They can only go on for what they see. So when you start owning like a fan and you start going out and doing these interviews and you're speaking as a fan, you get your fan base to either overreact or underreact. Because they're going with your up and down just like them. They just like they are.
Yeah.
You get too emotional, but this is why it takes a unique person to be the head coach of the Cowboys because we have a great fan base. But it takes a unique person to be the leader of that locker room, to rein all this in and keep it as a football concept. That's why it's only been very big, in charge, very disciplined, straightforward guys that ever won here as head coach.
No doubt, Coach Marv. You spitting at us, man. We should have had the umbrella ready. Appreciate you for calling in, Coach.
All right, Law. Appreciate you, brother.
No doubt, man. All right, so for those who've been in any type of leadership, any type of high executive areas or general managers, we call it a performance appraisal. Performance appraisal. And there are tiers to it, right? And those who hold players or performance or workers accountable to that, they got a chart that they got to go by. And then the most or the highest award you can get is outstanding, right? Minimum, as in management, minimum mistakes. Are you putting in extra work? And then you got the exceptional. Oh, man, they was nice. Maybe they was a little late. They didn't give all, but they did okay. So we give them exceptional, right? And then you have in that, you got fully successful. Meaning that they did just all right, just above the criteria and the grade that you're looking for. Then you have less than fully. Those are the ways that people can get their promotions. I got an outstanding employee out of Paul, right? Oh, man, he did a wonderful job. Why? Because his numbers are above charts. But in the Cowboys system, the person that's less than fully or just fully successful, they are promoting those guys. And that's been our issue. Matter of fact, there's no grading system from our higher ups. There's no peer-to-peer reviews. There's no, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to hold you accountable. So when you don't have those things put into place and there's no accountability from above, as above, so below. And if your general manager been operating for over 20 years less than fully or fully successful, or let's say that he been averaging right at that tier, and you are expecting to get outstanding results, it's not going to happen. And y'all might not even like me today, but those are the facts. And good conscience. You can't promote and elevate a person that is less than fully, but dog it. When it's a family-ran business, you will. All right, let me let these phone calls. I'm locked.
The conference has been locked.
My guy, Poindexter, man, you live.
Hey, Law, you preaching, man. You are preaching. I really enjoyed what you were saying because you inspired me. This Sunday is celebrating 103 years at my church, and I am the feature soloist. I got a song by Marvin Sapp, and one thing, I never try to be Marvin Sapp. Whatever song I sing, it's going to be me singing. It's not going to be Marvin Sapp. I don't want to compete with him because God gave him a certain gift, gave me a certain gift. And what you were saying before, you don't look at somebody else's gift. Okay, you enjoy your gifts. And Jimmy Johnson never wanted to be what he was. He made himself into that. He needed to be the bad guy. Somebody needs to be the bad guy. They need to be somebody, the coach. They need to be the bad guy. They need to be in somebody's face. Wow. Now, Coach Marv, he took my thunder as always. The flash was definitely open. I saw your film and everything. Why you don't get them backs one-on-one in the flat, man? You got two backs that can beat people one-on-one. You hear what I'm saying? And the flash was open. This is one of the concepts that's messing up right now. We don't have any concept. We had a 3rd and like 3 or something like that. Right. What they do? 5-yard hitches. They sent CeeDee Lamb in motion. And when I saw CeeDee Lamb in motion, I'm like, man, just run him up the field because all the defensive backs was flat-footed, looking for the hooks, looking for the hitches. When CeeDee, the shot they took down the sideline with CeeDee, the safety came up for the tight end, right, wide open. They need to run the ball and they need to take them shots. You got to take the shots, you have to run the ball. You have to establish that run and take the shots. We don't need 5-yard hitches. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they sitting on that. They sit on that every game. They sit on that. That's what was it? David or whatever was talking about. They sit on that. And my boy, Michael Parsons.
Before you go into these other details, they need to figure out a way to go away from the screenplay because they did it like every time we do that screenplay.
Yeah.
Buda Baker jumped it one time against the Cards. The 49ers gobbled it up. And I think that we telegraphed that play so much that we can't show it again. Like, we got to go into a whole nother Rolodex of plays because in this past game, my guy Winfield Jr., he literally said, I seen this look before. So what he did was he blew through Dalton Schultz. Yeah. And disrupt the play because they seen it so many times in that down and out distance where they like to do it at on the hash. And Kellen Moore got to start disguising that because if not, you're going to make your quarterback look crazy.
Definitely. And what you're saying is true because you can like I said, you can give them the same look, but you have to do something different. You give them that look, and that's what they're looking for. If they'd have sent CeeDee Lamb up the field, then all the defensive backs would have been flat-footed. Every one of them would have been flat-footed, looking for those hitches, looking for those curls. And, the fans, man, come out and bring a spoon. Get the biggest spoon in your house and bring it to the game. We need to feed Zeke. I need to see spoons everywhere. Just come on, man. We need to run that ball. The fans need to get into it, and they need to say, we're going to be a running team. We're going to feed Zeke. We got our spoons, and we're going to eat. Michael Parsons, my brother, you will never get one-on-one again, okay? Now, I know you got chipped and knocked out. That's going to happen to you. You are never going to get one-on-one again. Just understand that. And I do think they should play him more at linebacker and switch him up when he's playing that defensive end because we don't want to get him exposed like that. We don't want to get him hurt like that. Yes. And one more thing, my score prediction, 21-20, Dallas, and this team just needs to be more aware. Just be aware of the surroundings and things. Michael Irvin made a good point. if it's third down, you do whatever you can to catch that ball. You body, you do whatever you can.
Right.
Now, those, like you said, the other players, oh, yeah, he can reach out and try to make a touchdown with it. But if it's third down, you need that third down. You need to be aware of what's happening on the field. Understand that third downs are important. Converting third downs are important. And, man, I done preached enough. I love you. How about them Cowboys?
Much love to you, Poindexter, man. Appreciate you so much, man. That's my guy, man. All right, so unfortunately, Cowboy Nation, we're going to have to implement the 1-minute rule. I got to bounce like a basketball, but I want these 10 that's in, I want you guys to stay on and give me your thoughts. And just be this little clock right here. You know, I'm long-winded. That's why I took all of y'all time. Blame me for it. But everybody that's in here, man, you got 1 minute. So I'm going to start off with the VIP lounge, man. My guy, you live. You ready?
Lord's VIP, baby. Lord, take me a minute just to pull out. Shoot. But anyway, let me get to my points real quick. Let me get to my points real quick. I listen to Jerry, and the more I listen to Jerry, the more he reminds me of Pinocchio. Jerry, stop selling dreams.
Yeah.
Just do your job, Jerry. When you start talking about, everybody needs to do better, yes, including you. You, the GM, Jerry, not the fan, Jerry. The GM, Jerry, you need to get on your job. If you know that our quarterback played better with a number one wide receiver with the compliment of CeeDee, why the hell you get rid of our number one wide receiver?
Woo!
You saw the evidence of that before. So don't act like this is a new territory. We all know we have a virgin for an OC. That means we have to do something. It is your job as a GM to hold him accountable.
Appreciate your VIP, man. Let me hear you say it.
How about damn Cowboys? Let's go, boys.
Let's go, man. I appreciate you, man. All right, to that point, the last time CeeDee Lamb had 100 yards was when Cooper Rush was throwing him the ball. So that could be a situation that hopefully next game against the Cincinnati Bengals that somehow we can find CeeDee Lamb getting 100 yards. Y'all can double-check the math for me. Let me know if that was the last time CeeDee Lamb had 100 yards. I could be off of my numbers, but let me know. CeeDee Lamb got to have a good game. He got to get money on the field. And speaking of that, I got my guy from the 956. You're in the mix. The Lunatic.
Cowboys Nation, buenas tardes. I got a minute, so let me get my music ready. I was so happy that Jerry and Kellen didn't talk about moving Peters possibly to right tackle. We don't have a problem with Steele. He had a bad game. Our problem is now Farniak. Let's get that fixed. Kellen Moore, the NFL is drama, and we have drama. Jerry, look at the front office opposite of you. Who had a longer Super Bowl drought than the Cowboys? The Bengals, till their ownership said, let me get out of here, get out of the way, and where did they end up? Now, you want drama? Here's D-Law against Collins. We're going to have Mr. Never Turns his head around. We're not going to sign him, go up against our wide receivers. Don't get upset. It's just they have more talent. So, I'll be flat out 24-3, Law, but it doesn't matter because we're still in the NFC East. Now, let me finish it with tan. So, how about them Cowboys? Y siempre recuerda, puro pinche Cowboys. Thank you, Law, Cowboys Nation.
Wait, that was Flash right there. The Flash. All right, so we got she's all free to be. You're live.
Hello.
What's good with you? What's good?
Oh, I guess I'm okay.
Yo.
I'm not in the best of spirits this afternoon because I had to listen to Jerry with that crap. You know, I've been a fan since I came out of the womb. I'm telling you, my mama had Cowboys sticks on my clothes diapers when I was born.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so, you know, I've been a fan a long time.
Right.
And I'm not going to stop being a fan.
Right.
But at this point, you can't keep giving me a banana and telling me it's a cucumber. I need a cucumber. And right now, All we got is a banana in Kellen Moore, and I am so sick and tired of it. They need to get rid of him. I've never seen somebody with as much money as them deal with such unruly employee, which Kellen is. And that's all I got to say. I want all of us fans to keep letting it hang, and our Cowboys got to win, like they said, in spite of the coaches. Remember that, in spite of the coaches. And that's all I got, Lord.
Appreciate you so much. Appreciate you so much. And what I'll do is the next show, we would do the score prediction when everybody leave theirs. But I got another lady back to back. It will be Lady Jessica. You're live, lady. You're live.
Hello, everybody. How are y'all?
Doing great. Doing great.
All I got to say is let's go fight and win. Our boys got to get Kellen Moore out they mix and go for what they know on their own. You got to watch film. You got to learn how to execute teams just like they watch film on us. Our boys need to get in that room and watch the film, get locked in, look at how they put your opponent is going up against other teams, and you got to stop their ball game and show them who working who. I want to see defense get out there. I want to see them get after the QB. I want to see them get the football out that head, make them fumble, get it, and run it in the end zone, because it's going to be defense going to need to take us on to that give back. Because I'm sorry, if they got Rush out there, I'm sorry, they ain't going to happen. Rush been here all these years, and what have he approved? What have he accomplished? What have he done? But one game against the Vikings, that's all y'all can look at. He did this going against the Vikings. Well, he had other people out there fighting too to help him stay about, but he still
yes, indeed.
Let people say.
But let me hear you say it though, Lady Jessica. What you got?
How about them Cowboys?
That's my girl right there. You know, hey, we're going to have to get it. Look, Kellen Moore, he's going to have to step up real tall with his play design and his play calling. And what Jerry Jones was trying to allude to, that maybe when you lose some players, you get crafty and you get real deep into it, just like I did. All the thesis papers that I wrote, and I graduated, it was the day of or the night before. I was in there like, oh, crap, waiting till it's something about being, you know, waiting till the last minute to get things going. And hopefully that's be the situation. Hopefully. All right, my guy DT, you're live, baby.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
hey, I got
good.
some good news. I thought about this earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Dak ain't going to be on the field, but he's going to be on the sideline. See, last time he was hurt, he wasn't there.
Right.
He going to see something, and he going to realize this fool can't call no plays. So he going to help out Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
And I think that's who's going to help us out. It might not make sense, but I think he's going to see some things, and he say, why did you call that play? You know, like I heard you say, why would you call that play and it didn't work or whatever? You know,
right.
And then he's going to realize when he get back on that field, I can't rely on him. He's going to go to Mike, the head coach, and the Jerry, and he's going to say, this is our poison. We got to get this ain't helping. I need somebody up in the tower that can see the whole field and let me know what's going on. Because when he out there on the field, everything is moving so fast, so he ain't realizing the play. And I'm gonna let you go, and I'll take the rest off the air.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate you, man, so much, man. That's my guy, DT. Good call from him, man. All right, so believe it or not, a minute is a long time. Believe it or not, it's like YouTube Shorts over here. 318, you're live.
What up, Law?
What up? Talk to me.
I just wanted to say, I want to see Trayvon. I actually want to see him trailing Chase all game, bro. I think that's what we need to do for the defense, and for the offense, I just want to see Turpin and CeeDee Lamb get the ball on them end around.
Right.
Yeah. I want to see a lot of that happen. I've seen a lot of it, and not just them running down the line like they should get the ball and never get it. I want to see them actually get the ball this time.
Yeah, the double reverse sweep. No, just do a plain basic sweep, reverse sweep. Yeah.
Just take the ball, hand it right to him, and let him go around. You know,
Yeah.
That's it.
Jet sweep.
That's all I
Yeah.
got right.
Yeah. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much from the 318, man. That was a good call from everybody, man. I'm going to try to read all of these super chats. I appreciate those who jumped in. Shout out to you again, DAM Entertainment. Appreciate you. Daryl Thorpe, appreciate you for the $5 super chat. B. Bird says the best tool for accountability in the workforce is losing your livelihood. The Joneses don't have that pressure. What their motivations to change? Dog, B. Bird, you spitting, dog. When you get that outstanding, that means when you get that type of grade, that means that you push everything to the side. You picked up extra work. You helped out people that's not even on your team. You went over there and said, hey, I can help out in this department. Let me show you the ways and how I was able to critique this information. Let me show you these type of things. And you end up putting in more time, even though you salaried, right? And you putting in overtime, and even though you may have the kids crying in the background, you are calling meetings, you are meeting up with people. Yes, I don't think that the Jones family are doing that. That's why I always use the movie In Time of they are the type of people, they got the infinite amount of time, and that's why they move slowly, right? There's no other GM that can comfortably sit on $23 million, right, and not make a move. There's not a GM that can look back at this and say, all right, we got rid of La'el Collins without putting the placements or tools in place, right? There's not a GM that would have been given the longitude and latitude to get rid of Amari Cooper. To say that you're going to save the money and not replace Amari Cooper with somebody outside of, you got rid of him for a 5th-round draft pick who is Matt Waletzko, who's not even playing. And to not look at Jarvis Landry, to not look at Julio Jones, to not put the weight around and say, hey, let's bring in a DK Metcalf, right? But to ultimately, B-Bird, man, that's the best super chat this month, man. I appreciate you. Peebo from Dallas, he says, Kellen, ego will keep our offense in mediocrity, basically. I feel you. And then he gives another super chat. Peebo from Dallas says, don't care if we go undefeated. Fire Kellen Moore right now. Sheila Neal, appreciate you for the information. And shout out to everybody who gave the super chats, Cowboy Nation. Let's continue to grind, to shine. I thank those who called in today. It was wonderful. It was beautiful.
Goodbye.
Good show. I got to go, but Cowboy Nation, I tell everybody on my way out, even though I'm rushing a little bit, but y'all know how I got it. When you got to go, you got to go. And you got to go, you got to go. But I wouldn't feel right if I don't leave you guys with some positive information. Write this down. Write this down. And y'all probably already know it. Can say it better than me. And if you want a thing bad enough, right? But there's one thing a man should always do, or a lady, is to be true. Never allow someone to change your point of view unless what they bring makes sense to you. Never judge a man by sight alone, nor by the height he has grown. And when speaking, keep it at a moderate tone, because raised voices turn hearts into stone. You see, in the beginning, it was brother, our robber, brother. How about them Cowboys? As long as we win it. The morals of life: live, love, and respect for another. Then there are those who will try to be smart. They will take what you said to alter and to rip it apart. They will take things like, Law, you said the Cowboys are going 13-4. What about now? Law, you said this and that. Well, if you want to hold my words as the gospel truth, then also hold these things to be truth. That there will be better days around the corner. In order for the stuff to grow, you need the rain. And sometimes you lose the fight to get back in it. It reminds me of the Creed movie. Apollo Creed's son, I think it was Creed 2, got his butt whooped. And he had to go back and fight. But before he went back to fight, he had to go learn and pick up more tools and more traits in the desert to be ready for the battle. His girlfriend at the time said, hey, don't do that. The guy's 10 times your size. He's too big. You don't have the rudiments. You don't have the strength to withstand. That guy's gonna kill you. And you will die just like your father. I come here to tell y'all right now what he said, and I know it was based off of a movie. He said, baby, if I don't go out there to fight, I'm paraphrasing, then it's not me worth living. And that is the mindset that you need to have. Cowboy Nation, the 48 that's going to be activated, the 53 that's on this roster. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all other things tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan for it, or lose all terror of your mind for it, if you will simply, just simply go after the thing you want, and dogged and grim and besiege and beset it with the help of Almighty, guess what? You will. You will get it, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I hope my words help you out through your journey. It's therapy to the heart and soul. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys, baby. We about, baby. We gonna run it up.
Check us out.
Let's go. Roll those credits.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Run it, Cowboys Experience tomorrow. Come on out, we gon' have Michael Gallup in the building.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Let's get it.
Count that too, count it up, count it up,
Be
count
sure
it up.
to hit that like
Lately, I
button,
just
share
wanna
this
run
content.
it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change to the safe, got blues inside.
Let's get it.
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with A, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Run it, baby. Yeah. Come on, TC 915, BB. Appreciate you, Paul. David White.
Count that too, count it up.
Afro Sheep, baby.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Rubber band.
Yeah. I just be off the dome. I never own no chrome. Too many foes and clothes. Yeah. I be at home alone. I be in zones alone. I be on road alone. I been really in the field. Love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
You're listening.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. I have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Shout out to Barry. Shout out to Cowboys Experience. Be sure to run it up.
Lately, I
Call
just
us
wanna
for
run it
tickets
up.
and information. Come on.
Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
DC for life, not for short. Let's get it.
Lately, I just wanna run it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up.